Hi, this is an update video on the Crosman Multishot Trailhawk Nitro Piston gas ram thing. It's been a pretty frustrating day of it so far. The JSB RS turned up, which I thought nice light pellet. It's a brake barrel Springer stroke gas ram. They like most of them sort of pellets. It sprays them all over the place. Absolutely crap with them. So I put some more Barracuda 8s through it. Okay, but I've had trouble with zero shift. So I've put this one piece mount on there with a nice arista stud that goes lock it into the action. So I've tried all my other two-piece mounts, couldn't get nothing to work. Had a one-piece BSA mount, that wouldn't work. I've got some steel ones that are on my Enfield 303, so these grip like no tomorrow, they do not move. First BSA scope, had trouble with zero shifting. Thought it might be parallax error, so I've dialed everything in, couldn't get anything any different. Took the scope off the Crosman Vantage, which works absolutely perfectly, put it on here, fine for about 100 shots. Then the zero started shifting again, swapped the scopes back over. Initially, same thing again, about another 50 shots, zero started shifting. So I thought, I know, let's take the scope off, let's go back to the iron sights, which I'll put some Tipex marks on there so I can actually see them a little bit better. And to be fair, it shoots lovely one-hole groups for them. Absolutely perfect. Doesn't shift. Probably stuck another 250 shots for it. Perfect. Put the scope back on it. Exactly the same problem. Every 50 to 100 shots, zero shifts. And sometimes within a magazine as well, you'll have like 5 shots, then all of a sudden the zero will drop like an inch one way. So you readjust, hold it again, then it has moved another way. Then Postman turned up with a spare magazine. I thought, great, I can try that. First magazine, fed through absolutely beautifully, no trouble at all. And bear in mind the original magazine that's in the gun, it's probably done 350 shots by now. Second time using this, all of a sudden, bang, no pellet come out at the end, it's jammed. Looked at the side of it, I'm probably not going to see it very well on the camera, but it's actually broken one of the little lugs off, so two of the pellets can just fall into each other, they're not held in their own little chamber anymore. Don't know if you can probably see that on there or not. So that fired about 14 shots before it failed. Brand new magazine. So I've just unlucky with that. It's going to be a pretty difficult thing to send back. It was only £14, but you know what the seller's going to say. I know you've done something stupid with it, you broke it. Is it worth the aggravation of arguing with someone for £14? So put that one down to experience. So I just can't work out what to do. So I've even put a scope off of the Enfield on it, which obviously the recoil on things is massive. It was a fixed parallax, so I've readjusted the parallax on it by taking the front end off and winding the lens right out. Got it spot on for 10 metres. Okay, but same thing, every now and again you get a zero shift. But then I found out on the end here, that unscrews and the silencer is actually about that long and it's threaded onto the barrel about there and that had come loose. So I tightened that up. Problem went away for a little bit. Then it's come back again with a scope on it. The only way to get to shoot any sort of consistency is with open sights. And I know some people have trouble with the Crosman Vantage doing this, and I never with mine. Mine has shot perfectly with scope on it. So I don't know if it's just the recoil on this or what. Really don't know. We try another magazine, a Barracuda 8s. These do seem the best pellets that I've found so far. I don't know why it doesn't like the RS's. And we'll just see what it'll do now. It's frustrating really because it started off so well. This reminded me a lot of how the Uma X Iconics was. The first time I shot that I was really impressed with it. The more I shot it, the worse it got. But saying that, it has come good again now. I've took it apart and done some work on it. But this being a gas ram, I don't think there's an awful lot I can do with it. It's one of the most hold sensitive guns I've ever shot. The gas ram is so harsh that you've only just got to hold it very slightly different. I know Springers are hold sensitive, but this is really, really bad. Bear in mind I shoot firearms as well, so I'm used to things that recoil. This is unbelievably bad. So here we go again. It's just a little bit tight on that one. Every now and again the magazine just doesn't want to feed. Push that pellet out just in case it's a dodgy pellet. So I'm beginning to wonder now whether these things have not got a very long life. Another one there, it's just getting a little bit stiff. So I've blown it out with the airline, I'll give it a squirt of silicone oil. It's gone around now. It's one thing I hate is there's something that's not reliable or consistent. I know it is a budget gun, but it's not budget. I think they retail about 250 quid, which is not that cheap. When you think how cheap the Vantage was. Alright. So I've already shot the top left target, so we'll go for the top right target on the one that's got 5 balls on there and see where we're going now. So that is a lot of recoil for not a lot of power. The power has crept up very, very slightly. It's about 9.2 foot-pound now, but still nowhere near where it should be. It's such a sharp recoil on it. It's almost like the gas ram is too long and the piston is smashing into the front of the chamber. And the 177s are not as efficient as 22s, and they do need a little bit more oomph to get them to the same power, but this is bad. Yeah, I was experimenting this morning. I went for my open sights box. I did actually put the rear sight from my Crosman Vantage on here, which is fibre optic sights on there. It fired 5 shots and the fibre optics actually fell out the rear sight. But just the recoil shook it to bits. So that is pretty bad, saying 7 on there now. I think what I'm going to end up doing with this is taking the gas ram out and putting a spring inside it. Don't really want to mess around with a brand new gun, but it's not overly wonderful like this. Right, what we do, in the middle of them 5 targets, we just try some JSB RSs. So I've not actually tried these without the scope. I know with the scope it sprayed them all over the place. Some of them were even missing the target. We just stick 5 in. Yeah, this is broken a piece off the magazine as well, exactly the same as the new one. That's why that was stiff a minute ago, trying to feed it round. So obviously the build quality is shite on these. It's okay if you're not putting many pellets in it, I suppose. I think this is going to be a gun that just sits in the rack and doesn't get used a lot, which is a shame. So that recoil is something else for only 9 foot-pound. That's probably why things are breaking, because there's so much vibration going for the whole gun, and why the scopes can't keep a 0. It is a real sharp recoil. Even with firearms, it's a progressive recoil. This is really bad. If anything, I think it's got worse. I thought I would have got used to it. I probably stuck 300 shots through it this morning, which is a shame. I'm just going to have how bad the target is. So there's the rear mount I've put on there, which you see that should be more than adequate. The little white dots I've put on the sights have made it a little bit easier to use. That's the bit that unscrews on the end there. You can put some circlip pliers and that screws out. There's actually like a 6-inch long sound moderator built into that. These are the mounts off my Lee Enfield 303, which you imagine never had any trouble with them shifting. And that thing's like 2,500 feet per second I'm shooting at. Same with BSA scopes. I've never had any trouble with BSA scopes. So the Barracuda is the best of pellets. The RS's I've not tried with open sights. So let's go and have a look and see how it's fared. Not holding out a lot of hope. So that's the group I shot before I started recording with the Barracuda 8s. That was only 5 shots. That's the full 12-shot magazine, which you see it's now shooting higher than it was, and I've not adjusted nothing. And there's the JSB RS's, not really any sort of group in there at all. So, I don't know. What I'm doing is getting frustrated with it now, so I think I'll just go stick it in the gun rack and go and play with something else. Thanks for watching.